Welcome, Gemini. October 2024 can bring some really lovely upgrades to your career, money, and work stories, as well as a bit more romance if you're looking for it, a little bit more fun and pleasure as well. So let's talk about how all of the month of October looks for you, not just those highlights, in the next 30 minutes together. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name's Lori Lothian. I am a Western Tropical Zodiac, zodiacal astrologer. I'm using whole sign houses and fixed stars. Minor asteroids are my favorite thing to talk about. We'll be bringing Juno, the goddess of marriage, into today's story. Also, I want to talk to you about that eclipse that's happening in Libra. Holy man, it's a big deal, but it's a positive one for you. And that's coming up on October the 2nd. And lastly, let me tell you a bit about what I'm up to, just in case you're interested. I'm giving my pre-sale price now, opening up for the pre-sale of my 2025 all sign videos. You can buy the bundle or your individual sign. Each video is anywhere up to 2 hours long with a PDF guidebook that goes with it. That's my guidance for you for 2025. Every year I sell this as a part of my fundraiser to help buy equipment, hire some people to help me for my channel growth and my astrology business. So if you like to be supportive and get something great in advance, this content never goes on YouTube. In the description box below, you'll find out how to purchase the pre-sale price, which ends October 31st, and the product will be delivered to you in November, sometime probably mid-November. Thanks for listening to my little promotional sale, and let's get talking about your sign. Well, you know something, Geminis, I can relate to you a little bit because I have a progressed sun in Gemini, and your progressed planets are never as important as your natal positions. Keep that in mind. But let's talk about what I think you really should pay attention to this month, in the sense that highlight for you is that the eclipse that occurs in the sign of Libra is being added, given additional goodness because of Jupiter and Gemini in our current sky. So if you're listening for your sun, you're listening for your career and purpose. If you're listening for your moon, you're listening to about your body or your home needs and home where you live. And if you're listening to the rising sign, it's all about you. And keep that in mind. But you can listen for all three. Now, you have Jupiter traveling through your sign, right? He's going to be there all the way until next June. He got there in May of 24. This means you have a big energy around you. You're luckier, more prosperous, more plentiful, more hopeful, gratitude energy than you normally are. And it's really a nice vibe. And it kind of is a protective energy as well. And Jupiter flows to the eclipse that's happening in Libra. And this means that flowing from the sign of you to the eclipse in your fifth house means that it's a beneficial eclipse. And we did have an eclipse here last year, October the 14th at 21 degrees of Libra, but this is now much tighter. It's in 10 degrees of Libra, closer to the 10th degree of your sun, moon, or rising if you're a Gemini. So you Gemini, sun, moon, and rising, I'd say 5 to 15 degrees of Gemini really feel this eclipse. And with Jupiter sitting in your first house as well, this means that it's going to have a positive impact on your life. So here's a few ideas, just a general thought, because I'm going to give you this general overview, and then we're going to go into where all the planets travel through your sky, and then we're going to break it down day by day, week by week. So that's the order of today's video. Bottom line is you can win lotteries in the fifth house, or win money, or get money at a casino, and gaming, winning, lottery, speculation, money luck. It's a house of good fortune, your fifth house. And Mercury will be here infused in the eclipse, the Lord of games of chance. And so there's a possibility that with Jupiter flowing to the fifth house from your first house, or from your sun, moon area to where the eclipse is happening, it could open up a doorway or a portal for winning money or money luck. And that doorway is October 2nd, second eclipse, but you can give it even a month before, and certainly at least 3 months after, although the long story is up to a year long. So yay, you, but also can indicate unexpected developments around fertility, pregnancy, and exciting positive new doors to fertility, pregnancy, grandchildren, maybe something to do with entrepreneurial or creative projects just taking off. Fifth house, Libra, library, book, Maybe you're going to write a book. Maybe it's going to be very auspicious. It may not be so bad to begin a book on this eclipse if you're somebody willing to take a wild card chance, because it could indicate superior results in writing projects connected to books, for example. So wonderful energy to give you a highlight of what I like about this month. Now let's break down each planetary motion, starting with Mercury, since he is indeed the Lord of your sign, who is embedded in that eclipse. Mercury is going to move September the 26th through to October the 12th. He's moving through the sign of Libra. That is your fifth house. What I said, games of chance, winning money, good news about children, news about pregnancies and fertility and grandchildren, especially because, well, this is not even going to why. And the other part of his journey through here is he's a social creature. He likes to have fun. He likes to socialize. He's a god of comedy. Sometimes when he goes to the fifth house, we get more sociable in pleasurable activities. We don't just get together for fun events. Let's all go bowling. Let's go off, and especially competitive sports. Let's play a games night, that kind of thing. Mercury here also is good for ideas to do with creative projects and writing projects, especially. And he's also really good here for good commercial or business success regarding entrepreneurial endeavors. And you might have a lot of communication going on with your children, particularly a firstborn child, because that fifth house is the house of the firstborn child. Okay. So those are some thoughts I have for you there about what that feels like to have your Lord of your sign traveling here. The South Node is here, as well as the eclipse, as well as Juno. We'll be diving into more of that meaning when we get to the breakdown of the month ahead. Mercury is also going to be moving into Scorpio, which is October 13th to November the 1st, and that happens to be your sixth house. Now, this is a work house, and Mercury is a communicator, email, phone calls, text, writing, thinking. And so you're very busy mentally in your work setting and doing the work you do. You're very active, let's put it that way. October the 13th and November 14th. It's good for negotiations of longer term contracts regarding work situations, with Saturn's in your 10th house. And so you may be able to negotiate a new deal, from a temp position to a long-term position. You may establish some new partnership or negotiations around work that's going to be auspicious for you. Now, it's a house of employees, and quite often when Mercury goes here, you're going to hire an employee of some kind. So if you're in the kind of realm of work where you could hire someone because you're your own boss or you have your own company, this could indicate hiring somebody who could be of assistance, particularly with the more detailed oriented parts of your work and the communications parts or the administrative parts of the work you do in this life. Funny enough, my progressed Gemini sun, I'm probably going to hire a virtual assistant before I sink under the weight of my obligations here. Mercury is good for good news around your health, or just news around your health, but probably good news because of the flow from other planets. We'll talk about that later. And also Mercury going through this part of your sky. If you wanted to purchase a pet, Mercury's, the guy with the marketing and selling and buying kind of vibe, the merchandising and the marketing and the commerce of things. And he's in the house of pets. And look, he rules your fourth house of home. So the ability to purchase a pet to bring to your home is very possible here. And if there's any chance you want to negotiate a new deal, like a rental deal, you want to rent a property out, you want to negotiate a rental opportunity as a tenant, Mercury gives you good deal-making skills, and he rules the fourth house from the house of rentals. And that opportunity window is October the 13th to November the 1st. Now, Venus, the goddess of beauty, harmony, and love, is moving September 22nd to October the 16th through Scorpio, the same place we're just talking about, the pets, the rentals, the employer, the employees, the work and the health space. She bonifies it. She makes it good. She gives you safety. Yes, she's not in her best strength in Scorpio. She's still Venus. And so keep in mind that particularly auspicious is October 13th to the 16th, when we still have both planets, Mercury and Venus, cohabitating in your sixth house. So the 13th and the 16th, ideal for the purchase of the pet, the rental deal, hiring the employee, getting that new job deal for yourself, arranging a longer term job, getting a raise, getting a promotion, applying for a new job that you really want. That's the 13th to the 16th of October. Mercury and Venus in Scorpio in your sixth house are helping you do that and bringing you success. Venus then moves on into Sagittarius on October 17th, and she'll be there until November 10th. So from October 17th until November the 10th, she's talking to you from the lens of significant others. Now, this is a marriage house, and this can bonify the marriage and bring more happiness and more opportunity and more luck to your partner, but also to the vibe of the relationship itself. And it can have a lot more lovey-doveyness to it. Also, when she's here, October 17th to November the 10th, she may include females in your life who are entering into the picture as business partners or clients who are going to bring something positive and beneficial to you. And when Jupiter looking on from your first house, those goodnesses from the Venusian females who may enter your life October 17th to November 10th come right back to you, where Jupiter can deposit the luck charms back in your hands right there. So keep that in mind as well. Women can be very hopeful and positive towards you October 17th to November the 10th. And women, when it comes to your creativity, entrepreneurial business endeavors, are especially helpful during this time. Now, Mars is moving through the sign of Cancer. This is a very unusually long stay. He got here September 4th, and he leaves November 4th, and then he leaves for Leo, and then he comes back to Cancer. We'll get to what that means in a minute, but remember the long game. He gets back to Cancer January 6th through to April 18th. Now, this is your second house of earnings and money and resources. And often when he's here, he also curtails your dietary style. He's the god of ending and cutting and severing. And it's in the house of things you smoke or ingest through your mouth or in your nose. And so those things can dramatically change. And you might have big, giant breakthroughs in letting go of some substance abuse addictions and patterns, as well as food styles that don't serve you. That's a really strong energy for you during the month of October. Yet Mars here can also be very much about what needs to be penetrated. So dental surgery, cavity fillings, things to do with laser resurfacing or dermabrasion or Botox needles, none of which I do, but well, Mars here can do that for your face, which is your second house during this time. He is in his fall, and you want Venus, the goddess of beauty, to be working with you. And so if you're going to do anything to, like I just said, cosmetically with sharp objects or lasers or things like that, or abrasion to your face or needles, then your best chance is when Venus is in the sixth house flowing to Mars. So you want to only touch base on those things safely, in my humble opinion, September 22nd to October 16th. Otherwise, I might wait a bit, okay, until Venus is somewhere else, maybe in Scorpio and Capricorn. Yeah, so lots to think about there. Now, we're going to move on to, so Mars is in your second house. Other than the food style changes, Mars is, you are passionate, decisive, and action oriented, and maybe working hard on making money. But he also knows how to cut money away, and including curtail spending, but also connect to spending that's connected to career, like buying a new laptop for work, especially with Venus and Scorpio in your sixth house, or doing some kind of spending on your business or your work stories, right? Buying things that improve your work situation. And finally, when he's here, you could be really decisive in your speech, like really, like the way you speak is like sharp and cutting. And if you're going to have sharp and cutting speech, watch out how that is going to maybe most impact a friend in a social group, larger social circles, or one of your children, particularly the firstborn, but any of your children. Your sharp speech could sting, so be careful. Now, we're moving on to Jupiter, because he's in the house of you, and he is going to retrograde October the 9th. Don't forget, he's here till next June, and he's retrograding October 9th to February. And this is a time then through to February, early February, where all of the excitement of the flashy gains, prosperity, feeling big girl booties and panties and big boy booties or whatever. You're in your, like, I'm bigger than myself. I'm the Mount Olympus queen or king. It's going to go inward. It's going to be like where you reflect on the gains you've been making here since May, and how the bounty, prosperity, and pregnancy. If you're a female egg bearer, then you can get pregnant with this transit because your girth will expand, but you're expanding. And now you're going to have to take stock of that expansion. So look for the retrograde October 9th to begin a more introspective period through to February. It would not be good to initiate new endeavors that are brand new. We're brand new during the retrograde. Okay. Just like, because they're going to have to change direction, and you'll change your mind about them, or you'll see something wrong with it later. So, try to get all new fresh starts done before October 11th. Now, Pluto goes direct. I mean, October 11th, October 9th. October 9th is when Jupiter stations retrograde. On October 11th, Pluto will go into direct motion. What lessons have you been learning since 2008 that connect to things to do with inheritances, shared monies with spouses, divorce, separation, and assets thereof, things to do with credit cards, debt and indebtedness, to do with bank loans and mortgages? This area of your life is unearned income. I always call it chunky money because you don't earn it over time. It comes at you like an inheritance, et cetera, a tax rebate. Now, what's happening is Pluto has tiptoed backwards to the 29th degree to finish what he started and back in 2008. And this is the last time you'll be here, right? This is where things are turning around October the 11th through to November 19th. And you can get the final reward of that. And because it's a money house, it can involve an inheritance. And because he started from retrogradation, one that you knew could come to you, one that is like in your mind, one day owed to you, or one day should be coming your way. And with Mercury in Libra, all the way through to October the 12th, and Pluto going direct on the 11th, there's this kind of switcheroo there. And that could look like definitely some very good financial fortune through a chunk of money coming to you in a lucky way. So keep that in mind. And the turnaround point, or if we mash together the anywhere between the 10th to the 10th to the 12th or 13th could look like a chunk of money luck coming your way of some sort. Okay? Get back to me in the comments. I'd love to hear. Now we're going to break it down. I'm going to show you the sky and we're going to go through all signs. Now, this video is usually 25 to 30 minutes long. I do talk quickly. Please slow me down if you want. Take notes later. Come back, save it to watch later. Download it if you have the premium. But I'm going to do my best to get through this in a timely manner. All right, Gemini? So let's get through this together. And I'm going to open it up for us. It's on the desktop. Where did it go? No, it's not letting me share it again. I'm having the worst tech day today. There we are. Okay. And we're going to share. All right. So Gemini, let's go through a breakdown bit by bit of what's happening in the sky for you. All right. Are you ready? I'm ready to tell you. So at the beginning of the month, October the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, it's the eclipse. It's happening over here. And, hallelujah. Thank God Jupiter says, I got your back. This eclipse won't sting at all, right? Jupiter's like looking at it in a trine relationship. But South Node is often about what we need to let go of and release and surrender. And the eclipse is with the South Node, and it's embedded with Mercury in the heart of the sun in a cazimi on the 29th, on the 30th of September and the 1st of October, means that it has two things at once. One, Mercury was trying to reset a button of new directions in creativity, entrepreneurship, romantic love, sexuality, and children. And then the same time, eclipse says the same thing on steroids. So it's about a month before October 2nd, and it's up to like 6 months to a year after. Major changes here. To use me as an example, progressed Gemini Sun. This is my entrepreneurship house. I am no longer seeing clients. Okay. Basically, I've shut down my readings calendar for the fall, and I may open it up again in February, but I need to make changes, let go, surrender in order not to have a burnout nervous breakdown. So, because I only have so much time as a one-woman show. So what are you having to let go if you have an entrepreneurial business? What do you have to surrender and release and let go, let God around your children and what they're up to, or about things that have to do with your creative projects? Where do you need to surrender one thing or let it go, or deepen more spiritually into the creative project itself? Now, with Juno here too, the eclipse could bring in some changes of partnership, including business and love, but it tends to look to me more like you may be doing business partnership or creative alliance partnership shifts in the next few months after the eclipse. I'll be doing a deep dive video into the eclipse. And if you want to like and subscribe, you'll be able to watch that video that comes out probably 4 or 5 days after this one is released. Now, the other thing going on at the time of the eclipse is that Mars is trining Saturn. Now, Saturn is the taskmaster giving you seriousness in your career, and you're working hard for mastery, accomplishment, achievement, and you're coming to the top of a mountain of success. At the same time, you might be tired and going, I'm ready to leave this job or this career path. And you might do that in February of 2026 onward. Before that happens, so you're still working your ass off up here, grinding and being diligent and perseverant, like a marathoner you are. And Mars in the money house, savings, earnings, and resources from this angle is saying, let's flow. Let's make it some flow happen, guys. And that flow, October 1 to 4, means you could find yourself increasing your prosperity in a steadfast way by decisions you're making. Mars rules decisions, and actions you're taking, Mars, in the earnings career storyline. Oh, you don't have a career, then changes in the way you express yourself in the public eye connected to decisions you're making about financial resources. Now, it's going to get even better because then Venus also begins around October 4th to slide into a trine to Saturn. And you can see this is called a grand water trine. And then by the time we get to the 7th and 9th, she's flowing even more tightly to Saturn and Mars. And so I'm going to give it to you simple. October 4th to even the 10th of October, you are in the swoon of a beautiful Artha trine. The Artha houses of resources, work, and career are all very fortunate. And even with planets in debility, it's still the nature of Jupiter to see an a grand water trine here. So you've got some modicum of luck and flow and ease in work and health and dietary style and changes of diet, pets, earnings, and career stature. And it's good for your social stature rising, whether you want to call that your social standing, your recognition for what you're doing in the world. Things are heading upward in a positive, flowing, intuitive, and easier way than most times, October 1st to the 9th, really. But I mean, October 4th to the 10th for the trine to really kick in. Now, even though there's a trine, we see Mercury at the same time squaring Mars. And Mars is always about decisions and actions and endings and cutting, and Mercury is about news and information. Now, this can be a financial situation with a child or a romantic dating partner, lover, not committed long-term yet. And there's going to be some conflict. You can have a harsh conversation with a child or with a romantic partner, because conversations are Mercury's expertise. And you may also be cutting money out or away from a child or making changes in the way you support a child financially, as another example. And you may make some significant changes to your entrepreneurial business at this time based on new ideas that require immediate action. And that will again be around October the 4th or so. And then we move forward into the 7th to the 9th. Mercury then begins to trine Jupiter between the 7th and the 9th, which is another story completely and much more positive. Now, Mercury trining Jupiter can be good news around fertility, pregnancy, grandparenthood, coming your way. Good news and exciting and prosperous, abundant news around money luck, winning a lottery, going to the casino, cashing in, getting some unexpected fortune on a speculative investment. I don't know. But Jupiter brings the luck and Mercury brings the news, and it's from the house of good fortune, including the money luck house. So some good money luck vibes, good fortune vibes there running through the story, good news around a creative project, artistic project coming through your sky. Wonderful energy in the sky for you that way. And really look forward to that little window of love, October 7th to the 9th. And you know, with Jupiter in Gemini, you only get that once every 12 years. So to be enjoyed. October the 13th and 14th now, Sun is going to engage in a flow to Jupiter. First Mercury, then the Sun catches up. Same story, guys. What is this? I don't have to repeat it even. What is this like? Pregnancy, fertility, career, money luck, a glow up, money luck coming through a father figure, solar figure, male figure possible. There is a square from the Sun to Pluto in the house of inheritances and death. So yes, maybe even inheritance money. It's not the first thing I would think of, but Virgo is Mercury's territory, and that's the legacy wealth. So money from somebody in the family system coming your way, maybe through inheritances, for example, maybe a part of what we're seeing here around October 13th, 14th, and maybe connected to the 7th and 9th when Mercury activated Jupiter as well. You might have gotten news of something like that. The sun also squares Mars. And so again, we talked about this already. Is that withdrawing money from a child? Is that a harsh conversation with a lover? Is that some stern measure that requires immediate action and decisions in order to capitalize on an opportunity connected to a creative project? Is it a massive shift of dietary style away from pleasure towards abstinence? Things like that. With the Mercury square Pluto around October 13th, 14th as well, we're getting a last in a lifetime vibe here because Pluto and Capricorn will not happen again in our lifetime. So there's Pluto and here's Mercury, and that's a square. So it's harder energy, right? It's demanding something, change, action, decisions, because squares are the nature of Mars. So this could be, again, about money connected to inheritances, taxes, tax rebates, insurance payouts, children, romantic partners, gaming, winning money, need for immediate action or decisions based on that, or news of the death of somebody that you care about who could be connected to news of somebody in a hospital, because Mercury is in the house of money luck, but connects to the house of hospitals in your chart. So there's a lot of stuff I think could look like money coming through an inheritance type of energy on October the 13th and the 14th. October the 14th and the 15th, Venus gets into some very good action in the sky. Let's clear that drawing. Let's put her in there. So where is she? Venus is over here, right? And what we're going to say about it, she's in your sixth house, of work, sixth house of, well, everything. I mean, she's, sixth house of work, sixth house of pets, sixth house of debts, sixth house of karmic debts, service, etc., health. And she'll move to the very end of the sign and she'll come opposite Uranus on fixed star Algol, retrograde Uranus. So, and at the same time, she's also, at the same time, we're talking about October 14th, 15th, 16th even, she forms a wedge, a breakthrough. What breakthrough is this? Well, it can be something like a doorstopper. It could be something like unexpected, surprising, and shocking opportunities in your career that up-level your finances, because Algol's a wealth star internationally from foreign shores and foreign lands. Because Neptune is with Saturn is how do you want to make your visions and dreams for your career, your fantasies, Saturn real? And because Saturn's retrograde and so is Neptune, these are ones you've been holding for a long time from your past. So there's a realization of some kind of exciting success in work and career, but there's a bit of a shock and surprise. You didn't necessarily expect it. That's what it looks like to me. And it can have some great financial payouts. It's almost like karmic debt dividends financially are coming your way, so that you're getting the dividend checks for your merit, for your good karmic service and deeds in this world. Neptune rules things to do with photography, music, Instagram Reels, YouTube, any of the moving images platforms, and therefore like filmography. Therefore, if you do that in your career, then this is going to be a nice little exciting jolt of positive surprise in that kind of direction. October 14th, 15th into the 16th. On October the 16th, 17th, on the border of those 2 days, depends on your time zone, Venus will sextile Pluto. That means Venus is going to move forward to the very, very end of Scorpio, right here. And from 29 Scorpio flow to Pluto for the last in a lifetime, Pluto Venus sextile, because Pluto won't be there again. So it's a wealth story for one thing, and it can be also the power of love of power in a positive way. What is this wealth thing that wants to emerge in your 8th house of chunky unearned income? A severance package, a sign-on bonus connected to work, an advance of some kind on some kind of work or creative project. And at the 29th degree, it's very karmic and completion. And sometimes exciting because it's kind of like the final grand act, the final finale of something. And so Venus can only do this time. And she's been trying her best to do it, kind of on the yearly, more or less, since 2008. But this is her last attempt. So it's definitely some money stories connected to work. But if you're looking at Venus and, Pluto is the underworld god, things that are hidden from view, but he is retrograding until October 11th. But then at the time we're talking, right, he's now direct. So he's going to give you some kind of treasure chest of chunky money, the best he can through a Scorpionic Venus. So I don't know what it is. It could be money that was hidden from view, money that you didn't know belonged to you, money that was owed in the past, you'd written off, showing up, but it can be money in career as well. So let me know what happens. Let me know, guys, because I'll tell you what happens as I progress Gemini sun. October 22nd, Mercury trine Saturn. You want to give everything these a day or two on either side, please, right? So Mercury, this is Saturn. This is you working hard to get to the top of a mountain in your career. Look at you go, climb that mountain. You mountainy, persevering, hardworking, dedicated person. I recognize us right now. And this hard work in your career, people call me the hardest working astrologer on YouTube, but I kid you not, it is what Saturn does up here. And he's been here last year. Since March, he'll leave in February of 26. And this time around, Mercury comes into a talking conversation from Scorpio. Mercury's moved here by October 22nd. And there is flow and ease between work and health and career in a steady as she goes manner. Mercury could say you're going to have a new job offer or negotiation that's going to give you a solid and lasting result. And Venus is trying to say the same thing: more pleasure, more fun, more financial wellness in work, more ease, maybe because of the Venus transit as well in Scorpio earlier. And it's kind of like steady as she goes, a tortoise and the hare is Saturn. And Mercury comes up with ideas in your workhouse for the tortoise to win the day, not the hare. So how you can be more of a perseverant, drip, step-by-step, gradual success in your work and career, including of course, your financial gain with Mars in your second. October the 23rd to the 25th is one big happy story. That's because we're going to see a massive, beautiful mini trine forming. Well, not massive, but mini trine. Mars here, sextiles Uranus here, okay? And also Neptune trine. And this whole energy, mini trine, is full of beautiful grace, ease, flow, luck, and blessings in the nature of Venus and Jupiter combined. It looks to me like, in a nutshell, October 23rd to the 30th, you're going to experience a beautiful financial glow up connected to your work and things moving forward in a steady but positive way, but with some unexpected, shocking surprises connected to Uranus in the 12th. And that's Algol as well, which can be a wealth star here. And because the 12th house is money generated from international sources, if that's a part of your business model, then you're having a nice little boost up, and grace descends upon your earnings, upon the earning stories. You may also gently and easily remove yourself from some work obligations in order to experience a sudden opportunity for a time out, because Uranus is like the ashram or the isolation chamber. And so positive, unexpected ways you can sort of skip out of work or skip out of working too hard and have some downtime, some spiritual illumination, some ashram even. This energy is very active for you, October 23rd to the 30th. Now, at the same time, Mercury on his journey through Scorpio will land here, especially the 26th to the 30th, and create this interesting arrow formation in the sky. Now, it's almost like all the good things that point to Uranus and the 12th house, which can be karmic rewards around wealth, by the way, from past lives, connect to Mercury going through the house of karmic debt and the house of work and the house of pets. Now, you can have a sudden, shocking, and positive surprise that says your health is better than you thought. But other than that, it looks to me like work situations surprisingly open up opportunities that kind of bring you into some kind of career glow up that's also financially successful. Mercury can be phone calls, text messages, and emails through colleagues, coworkers, um, emails, phone calls, and text messages that are coming through the work environment that give you positive surprises. I'd say anywhere between October 23rd and 30th, but more acutely, maybe October 26th to the 30th. What a way to end the month of October. I hope that's useful for you guys. I hope that helps. If you want to quit an addiction, of course, that's all about addiction breakthrough. Neptune, the god of addiction, Uranus, the shock and awe, Mars, in the food style, Mercury in the health, bam, you're done. You're never going to vape again, something like that. Again, really the last week of October. So hopefully that's useful. Don't forget, you can get my all signs bundle or the individual signs for 2025 and the PDF guidebook. Videos up to 2 hours long. Check the description box below for the pre-sale price. It'll never be that low again. The pre-sale price expires October the 31st. So if you want to get it now and get that order in the description box below, you'll find out how to do that. Thanks, guys. See you soon.